between 44 and 299 going towards Mount Lassen. And when you get to one area of Hat Creek, there's a bridge that goes over it, and there's a park inside called Bridge Park. It's got a beautiful little trail. So we go up there and shoot pictures. It's different every year because you never know what trees have fallen into it or whatever. And one thing I had never seen was this rock, a promontory standing out that looked just like one of those stone heads of Tonga, right? And it was towards the end, a little farther I got down there, I go around to get a different angle and I see, oh, there's a little stone wall beside it. And in the corner where the promontory meets the wall, there's a little opening. So I went down and I looked in, and it was like about this high and about this wide. But when you look through, it looked like it opened up after about 3 feet, 4 feet. So I crawled in there, and I get in, and sure enough, there's a cave in there. This is not too far away from where Subway Caves is. And it's like there's a cave in there with stalactites, but in the distance, I see like a glowing light. And I go on in there, and it's like crystals, amethyst, quartz, rose quartz, and they're emanating a light. And the farther you go in, the more crystals there are, and starts to be a little water seeping from the ceiling until you get to this place, and there's a dripping of water coming from the ceiling, and there's a spring coming up out of the bottom, surrounded by like castles of various different kinds of crystals. And out of the water, out of the pool, the water is pouring in the side away from the direction that I was walking. So I decided to follow it. I went along the way. I didn't tell you about the bats and the things, so I'll leave that. I went along the way and everything like that. And as I got farther away from the center pool, the light began more dim, but then there was another light in the distance. And I kept going in that because that was another opening. And this stream it flowed out of this thing, getting bigger and bigger until it was a nice little creek by the time that it was coming out of this cave into this amazing world that I had never seen before. I've been all around that area. I never saw this place before, because it was like lush and verdant and full of flowers and everything like that. And I went down a trail, there was a little falls, and there's a pond at the bottom, and there's a dugout canoe, and there's a man there with a pole, beckons me to get in, and starts taking me down the river. We go around a bend, and there's a pagoda, but not made out of wood. It's as though stone grew out of the ground and formed a pagoda.
Oh my gosh.
So he takes me down there. We get off at a platform. I climb up a level of stairs. I actually counted them, 21 stairs. Get to the level. He goes back to the boat. There's the attendant who takes me in. And there on the stage, somebody was saying this earlier. Larry was saying, you looked at an older man and you saw the younger person shining through. This was one of these people that you can't tell what color their hair is because the light's hitting from different angles, and it looks for a minute like there's blonde coming on, black, red. And her face, you couldn't tell what nationality she was. And she's just sitting there on the dais. And I get escorted up through a crowd of people, some of whom dressed in saffron Buddhist robes, some in golden robes, some in white robes, some people just wearing various different gowns and stuff, a couple of hippies in there. And they take me up and seat me on a cushion right in front of the dais where this magnificent, radiant person is. And I sit down, and she says, breathe, breathe, feel the love, be yourself. I've been waiting here a long time for you to come. You are home. No matter what you've done or where you've been on your journey, I love you absolutely and unconditionally. And you are home. Breathe. Feel the love. Be yourself. So I turn to the attendant next to me and I go, who is this person? Because I'm looking at her, and all of a sudden, I see a woman, and then all of a sudden I see a young man there. I see the woman's body, a young man. Then I see the young man. Then I see a woman looking through. I see all different kinds of things. I think, is this Avalokitesvara? Is this Guan Yin? You know, is this Jesus? Krishna? Who is this, right? So I turn to the person next to me and whisper as lightly as I can. Who is this person? And she just looks down at me. He doesn't answer. She looks down at me and says, forget the names. You are home. Breathe, feel the love, and live in the wow.
Yes. Yes, yes. Glenn, we should sing home.